What's going on, guys? It is Silver Forever, and today we're going to be talking about different financial investment opportunities related to gold and silver that aren't necessarily physical gold and silver that you can hold in your hand. So let's just jump into it. For me personally, I like to diversify in a lot of ways. You guys who have been watching my channel for a while now, look at my different physical silver that I have collected and stacked over time. You can see I like to diversify not just within a certain asset class, like in the case of silver, but also across different asset classes. Everything from more traditional retirement accounts, investing in stocks and bonds and highly speculative cryptocurrencies. It's really important for me personally to diversify the way in which I've allocated my finances, right? One way in which I've done that within the past few years is that I invested a relatively small amount of money in about 24 different mining companies. And so over the past couple of years, I've been able to sit back and see how some of them perform. Some of them are very volatile. Some of them have been consistently good performers over time. Others have crashed and burned. What dictates how these perform? I've noticed that there are particular variables that I think, for me personally, are really important when I'm assessing whether or not a given company is a good investment opportunity. Among those different criteria, arguably one of the most important is the leadership and management team. Not just who are they as individuals, but what type of experience do they have? Is their experience relevant to this new company? Are they personally invested in the company? Do they have skin in the game that would lead me to believe that they are personally working hard for the success of this company and not just using it as a sort of cash grab? And speaking of cash grabs, it's important to look at a company's fundamentals. Does a company have a decent balance sheet? Are they carrying a ton of debt, or are they carrying no debt? Have they acquired rights to particular properties yet? Or are they merely looking into the idea of one day maybe attempting to have mining claims on public land, for instance? These are really important distinctions that can make or break any given company, and therefore make or break your success in terms of investing into a given company. Recently, there was a company that came across my radar, and that is what this video is all about. This video is being conducted on behalf of the Prospect Ridge Resources Corporation and funded by their affiliate Gold Standard Media. And I just so happen to think that this is actually a really highly promising company that you should keep on your radar. To me, this seems like a good opportunity among strategic mineral exploration companies that is already beginning to move into development. And so with that, I'm going to pull up an investment slide deck produced in September 2021. This company has begun to be traded on the over-the-counter, the OTC market. This is something that's accessible through, let's say, a Fidelity account, for instance. On the OTC, the ticker is PRRSF, and on the Canadian Stock Exchange, where it's traded publicly, it is PRR. So this is a company that is based in British Columbia. They also have significant properties in Quebec, and they are focused on the acquisition, exploration, and development of precious metals projects in Canada. That's right, folks, in North America. They are trying to create value for all stakeholders, and their team is actually heavily invested in this company, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that later. So here are some investment highlights that PRR has shared with us. They have multiple initial projects and work programs, no long-term liabilities. In fact, this company is debt-free, if you could possibly believe that. Between their different properties, they have over 70,000 hectares, 12 gold and silver past producing high-grade mines within just a 15-kilometer radius. It's pretty wild, folks. That's like 10-mile radius. All these different high-grade mines that have been in that area. Companies like Seabridge Gold, which went from $3.50 a share in 2015 to $22 in January 2021. There's Tudor Gold Corp. Look at that exponential increase. And Skeena Resources and Newcrest Mining Limited. These are all companies that operate mines in the same immediate area as Prospect Ridge Resources Corporation. Active Douglas Creek, one of these places, has produced gold nuggets up to 10 ounces Can you believe what it would be like to hold a 10-ounce gold nugget in your hand? I mean, shocking. I've never even had occasion to hold a 10-ounce gold bar. Recent exploration has discovered multiple outcrops with exceptional gold values in terms of grams per ton. We're not just talking about gold here, folks. We're also talking about silver, and in general, this just seems like a pretty promising opportunity. It's not just about what this company has done so far. Another really important thing is, what have the management and leadership of the company done so far? And this is one of the most important and intriguing aspects of this story. Michael Iverson, who is the director and CEO of this company, actually came out of retirement in order to become involved in Prospect Ridge. He's got over 30 years of executive experience in this realm. Arguably most impressive, this guy, Michael Iverson, has founded 2 other companies, including Neo Gold Mining Corp, and was the co-founder of Fortuna, which is one of the top 15 silver mining companies in the world. As an amateur, to me, this guy seems like a real heavyweight in the industry. But not only that, they have an entire team that in combination boasts over 100 years of experience. They and their families in many cases are heavily invested in this company. So they're not just looking to score money from investors and then bail on the project. These are people who appear to be in it for the long haul. The president's family invested over $1 million just in the last private placement. And I'm telling you, this guy, Mike Iverson, evidently through himself and his entities and affiliates, they own a collective of 6 million shares in this company. So think about that. So not only does this guy have skin in the game, but there's other investors who have basically been with him for the last 3 decades, considered close friends. They own up to 10 million shares. And these are people that were with him back when he was with Fortuna Silver, building that company into one of the 15 largest silver companies in the world. So this guy is about as experienced as you can hope for. Let's talk about some of the projects. Among the most important of these projects is the one that they call the Holy Grail. And although they have a lot going on in the sort of golden triangle of British Columbia, they also have projects that are happening in Quebec on the other side of Canada in an entirely different province. The Holy Grail is their flagship acquisition. It borders the historical golden triangle. Of course, this is an area that is known for its gold. We have a property that is close by. It covers almost 70,000 hectares. It's easily accessible. There's serviced roads, lots of logging roads. Another press release that just came out of Prospect Ridge Resources in Vancouver, BC yesterday is that the company, which had acquired recently a property where there's a historic mine, recently returned assays from preliminary exploration that seemed pretty promising. Now, this particular historic mine site, the Doreen mine site, is actually on the property that is contiguous with their flagship acquisition. That's the Holy Grail property. The Doreen mine site, less than 2 kilometers away from the nearest logging roads, and is only 5 linear kilometers from CN Rail, and that's what permits that direct line to the deepwater port. So it wouldn't take much development to make that more accessible. So let's check out here what the Golden Triangle is. This on the map is considered the Golden Triangle. It is a region of gold up in northwestern British Columbia, bordering on kind of the southernmost tip of Alaska here. And these are various locations where gold has been discovered. So for instance, this Bruce Jack mine here, you can see this company has over a $2 billion market cap and is producing 350,000 ounces of gold per year. In nature, these firm borders don't really exist. Calling this a golden triangle is just kind of a general way of describing the fact that this is a gold-rich area. If there's gold here, then you can presume that there's gold close by. It appears that early prospecting is substantiating that claim. Now, they're going to do across the entire property LiDAR surveys. They're going to recon the silt in that area, look at all of the outlets from the creeks along the length of that property, reconning in general using unmanned aerial vehicles, hand trenching, mapping, channel sampling. They're going to do the work to figure out where the gold is on this property so that they can maximize their investment and then hopefully provide value to any stakeholders. This seems like a highly promising opportunity. So like I said originally, it's really important for people who are going to invest in mining companies and exploratory resource companies to investigate a variety of things, not just the leadership and management team, but the company fundamentals, things like capital structure. So for that, you can look at how many shares are issued or outstanding, how much debt is being carried by the company. In this case, $0. I mean, that's just beyond impressive. I'm really happy that Prospect Ridge Resources has come across my radar. I think that there are several key elements here that make this company a very intriguing and interesting opportunity for me personally. You have the CEO of the company, that is Mike Iverson. Not only is he just a guy who loves rocks in the first place, he's built two major, highly successful companies in his career within this field. The properties and the rights that they've acquired, not only are many of these assets past producers, but they have already done assays, brought back really promising gold grades. This Holy Grail property is immediately proximal to other successful mines from other successful mining companies in the exact same geological zone. I mean, if we were to look at that golden triangle, it essentially points directly down to that Holy Grail. That, among other opportunities within the Prospect Ridge Resources umbrella, lead me to believe that this could be on the verge of some really significant growth. Of course, we had the initial public offering on the OTC market occur just within the past month or so. It's been on the Canadian Stock Exchange for slightly longer under the ticker PRR. But you know, as we move into 2022, as we move into the new year, once that snow starts melting, the rigs are going to start drilling, and who knows? Usually what happens with these mining companies is once they really hit something super promising, everybody jumps in all at once. You see the price skyrocket, and those who didn't early on are kind of, they missed the opportunity. So when I'm looking into mining and other similar resource companies for my own personal investment portfolio, these are the types of things that I look for. This is what I like to be aware of. I'm just some guy on YouTube. I'm not your financial advisor. I like to think that I can discern between what's a good and a bad opportunity, but at the end of the day, I can only make decisions for myself. You need to make your own decision. You need to look into this company for yourself and decide whether it's a good or a great option for your own portfolio. And with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu and wish you a great day. Silver Forever, out.